college basketball fans will get their chance to watch Murray Street's Ja Morant perform under the NCAA Tournament microscope after the sophomore point guard led the Racers to the Ohio Valley Conference Tournament Championship last weekend, securing an automatic bid. If you're a regular reader of our Draft Big Board feature, you know I'm super high on Morant's pro potential. His speed in the open court reminds me of De'Aaron Fox, who's enjoying a breakout second NBA season in Sacramento. If Morant is able to take advantage of NBA weight training to add strength to his 6 feet 2 inches, 180-pound frame, his ceiling could be in the Russell Westbrook pre-knee injury Derrick Rose range, given his uncanny ability to finish at the rim over taller defenders and consistently get to the free throw line. My good friend and colleague at NBC Sports Chicago, Will Perdue, had a chance to watch Morant up close and personal while serving as an expert analyst for the national radio broadcast of the OVC Tourney Championship game. So, I asked him to watch Morant as closely as possible to pick up his strengths and weaknesses. Will came away very impressed with Morant's court vision, saying the 20-year-old point guard has a unique ability to spot open teammates and deliver the ball in a manner that allows them to get a shot off easily. Morant currently leads the nation in assists, and you have to think he could average double-figure helpers in the NBA since he'll be surrounded by more talented players. Like all of us who've watched Morant's highlights, Will appreciated his ability to blow by an initial defender and get to the basket with ease. But he told me most of his spectacular finishes are against players in the 6 feet 7 inches to 6 feet 9 inches range, and he wonders whether he'll be as successful against taller, stronger NBA big men. Will also is concerned with Morant's release on his three-point shot, which he says starts around the waist instead of shoulder level. That could lead to numerous blocked shots by NBA defenders. Will told me he believes Morant's explosive first step and leaping ability should allow him to continue to rack up high free throw totals in the pros, but he might not be a big-time scorer initially. When I asked Will which player he would take with the second overall pick, he said he'd prefer Duke teammates R.J. Barrett and Cam Reddish over Morant. And, the Bulls might also consider Vanderbilt point guard Darius Garland, who's a better shooter than Morant. Still, when looking at the Bulls' biggest positional need heading into the offseason, it's clearly at point guard, where Chris Dunn has yet to establish himself as the long-term answer. After 2 years of their rebuilding program, the Bulls have identified starters at 4 of the 5 positions, so my guess is they'll go point guard unless they absolutely love Barrett and wind up with the second overall pick. Knicks would likely take Morant if they get the second, third or fourth pick, while the Knicks and Cavs will probably pass since they both acquired young point guards in the past year in Dennis Smith Jr. and Colin Sexton, respectively. So, the Bulls will probably get a chance to draft Morant or Garland if point guard is the direction they want to go, but you can count on a lot of posturing and best player available talk leading up to draft night, unless the lottery combinations work in the Bulls' favor and they get the chance to draft Zion Williamson number 1. Mark Schanowski's Big Board 9.0 had some movement, particularly around the bottom half of the top 10. We take the time to go over prospect Zion Williamson's return to the floor, as he set an ACC tournament and Duke record. Zion Williamson returned to the court on Thursday night, playing in his first game since February 20th. And after only a few minutes of action, it was clear that Williamson was absolutely 100% good to go. In his return to the court, Williamson showcased all of the attributes that he did before he went down against North Carolina. His explosiveness, incredible rebounding prowess and soft touch around the rim were enough to make him unguardable against Syracuse's tall, yet slight of build front court. Williamson was so dominant inside the paint that his 14 rebounds matched the rebound total from all 3 Syracuse front court starters combined. Zion's 7 offensive rebounds, as a team Syracuse had 9, were obviously important because they led to high-percentage putback layups, but just as important was the fact that each offensive board crushed the spirits of the Orange. Williamson's mere presence is draining for opponents. On defense, Williamson doesn't appear to have lost any quickness. Against Syracuse he occasionally gambled for a steal, but he is so fast that even when he over-pursues the ball on the perimeter, he is able to change directions quickly and get back into the play. And when he does get a steal, as he did 5 times against Syracuse, we all know how demoralizing his Showtime dunks can be for the opposition, as they were on Thursday night. The biggest thing that came out of Thursday night, however, was the reminder of how efficient Williamson can be as an overall offensive weapon. He hit his lone 3-PT shot on the night, a part of an absolutely insane performance in terms of efficiency. Police car light new Duke record. Police car light at Zion 32. Also, I couldn't really throw a tennis ball into the ocean with my free throws. The 13/13ths from the field tied an ACC tournament record and set the new Duke record for most field goals made without a miss. According to ESPN, Williamson's 29 PT, 14 Reb, 5 STL performance was the 5th of October 25 game since Christian Laettner in 1992. Any concerns over Williamson returning to form are certainly gone. In Duke's win over Syracuse, his 100% shooting boosted the Blue Devils' offense that was 30.4% from 3-PT range and 67.9% from the free throw line. One pick all but locked up for Zion. It will be intriguing to see how he leads Duke throughout the NCAA tournament, as he has made it clear that he plays for the name on the front of his chest. ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski recently discussed how much he believes in the Bulls' rebuild. He stated that they have come out of the other side of the trade deadline with a core of young players and a coach that they're ready to go forward with. WOJ focused on how the Bulls have a core of players that are 25 years old or younger in Otto Porter, Wendell Carter Jr., Lauri Markkanen and Zach LaVine. Along with the roster itself, WOJ focused on the fact that management is in full support of head coach Jim Boylen, who has helped improve the Bulls' overall toughness and team culture. He also touted Jim Boylen's perception around the league as a great tactician who is a great teacher as well. WOJ of course brought up the fact that there is uncertainty surrounding whether or not Boylen will be the long-term coach, but certainly expects him to be the coach for next year, 2019-2020 season, with some solid additions and free agency to add experience to the Bulls roster and shore up point guard and general depth issues. Wojnarowski said that he believes that the Bulls can be challenging for a playoff spot in the East as soon as next year.